few murders here and there. Even the moon's frightened of me, frightened to death. The whole world's frightened to death.
Good evening, friends and fiends. Welcome back to another edition of Blood and Guts, where we break down the blood and guts of HHN. And tonight, we have the Pumpkin Lord's favorite henchman, Matt. How you doing tonight, Matt?
I'm doing fantastic, Elab. You know why?
Why's that?
Because speculation season is among us. So speculation season.
Speculation?
Yeah.
Speculation?
So yeah, you heard that, folks. Like we did tell you we was going to do episode 2 as a look back on what happened on 31, but
Yeah.
finally had a speculation mat drop, so we figured that might be just a little bit more important than that.
It takes a little bit more precedence there.
Exactly, and whet your appetite with some new information that we can kind of gloss over.
Yeah, and before we get into this speculation map, boys and ghouls, we're not going to spend too much time on it because you could speculate all day long about it. We know that there probably are a few red herrings on there just to kind of throw you off the scent. And we know that, the only house that has been confirmed 100% so far by Universal is Chucky. So, we're not going to spend too much detail. We just kind of wanted to touch base on how we felt about it, a couple of the little information, little facts that we've kind of put together about it. So without further ado, let's speculation boogaloo. So the first house, I believe, let's see what we got here, looks like that's Chucky, and it looks like Chucky might be where they've had the prison there, but we know that's confirmed 100%, as Universal has dropped the
Trailer.
they dropped the trailer Halloween night, so that one's pretty much in the works.
Looks like the second one we have on here is the Bloom house with the Megan and Insidious is what they're speculating. This one, obviously they haven't confirmed it yet, but I feel a strong possibility that we'll see something like this because we've had the Bloom house split house for quite a few years now. So I think, I ain't going to say it's a done deal, but that one's pretty close, I say.
Yeah, and with all the speculation with the Megan tweets and the Horror Nights, in that, we think, they'll probably go that route. And Insidious, it may or may not change. I know that Blumhouse is doing a Exorcist film as well, and that kind of thing. So that could change. It could be hit or miss. Mm-hmm. As far as that goes, I personally don't know why we need 2 dollhouses, but hey, it's Universal.
I'm with you on that, and like I said, I don't want to dog it because I haven't watched it yet. So maybe something when I do watch the movie, I'll be like, hey, I'd be happy to see it. But I've never been much of a fan on the split houses themselves, especially if they do go the route of Megan and Insidious, because tonally they're totally different movies.
Right.
And kind of like how we'll talk about in our later episode, that's kind of what hurt the Blumhouse house last year with Freaky and Black Phone. So. Don't want to go off too much on a rant, but I'm kind of with you on that, Evil Ab. I don't think we really need 2 dollhouses because one for me is plenty. But we'll roll with the punches and we'll be happy and give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely give it a college try.
Absolutely,
community college try.
See.
So what do we got next?
Next on the speculations, we got the monsters, and it's got the Phantom / Dracula.
Oh yeah, the monsters. Yeah, that that has some potential. Because instead of being in Egypt this time, it's more of like a gothic. It has to be a gothic setting. I mean, you got the opera house, you got possibly a castle. Who knows where they're going to go with this? According to this, though, it is it's more of a slash. It looks like than a versus.
Right.
Which obviously, like we were just discussing this a few moments ago. It's like, how are you going to have a supernatural being such as Dracula fighting?
And like we're talking about, if they did do that, what's the motivation for the Phantom to be like your hero in that? Because normally he's your villain too. So
yeah. So, but either way, we're bound to see some good sets. There's going to be some definitely some gothic.
Great makeup,
some gothic appeal. Probably a little bit of red velvet. in there, and like maybe a castle kind of thing. Yeah,
Absolutely. That'd be one, like, if that one ends up being confirmed, that one will be, I'll be very excited to see that one myself.
right.
Moving along, picking up the pace, then we got Lair of the Banshees, and then it's gotten that would be an original house. So
An original Banshees.
I'll go first. Like, when we did some research on that, if it's possible, it could tie back into that old scare zone they had a few years ago. And
26.
Yeah.
26.
HHN 26. So if that's the case, I would be very super excited about that here. Like the Celtic folklore, the music, and the makeup.
Totally. And the makeup for the scare zone, it looked pretty good. I know a lot of people give it guff, but it looked pretty good. I mean, the makeups looked good. The music was on point, and they had the Bruins in there. And yeah, I mean, it could be an apology for the Coven house that we had last year. So
it could, like, it had a couple other set pieces in there. Remember, it had like the hanging ghosts that would just come up and down. So that would be visually appealing.
And the glowing eyes, the thing with the glowing eyes. And so, yeah, definitely play on that folklore element this year. A couple of these different houses do play on that folklore element from different cultures. And if that's the case, we're all about it, because we've been talking for a few weeks about how cool it would be for them to do a cryptid's house every year. So, 1 year you have Jersey Devil. You have, we've seen Yeti, but we could do another Yeti. We could do especially the Mothman. So what the potential would be to do a cryptid's house, every year, or a multiple cryptid's house, which would be even more awesome.
Awesome. So, yeah, like with that one, like I said, we'd be very excited if that does come to fruition. And if it's what we're speculating, it could be something totally different. But, I mean, that's kind of like with Dead Man's Pier they done last year. Yeah. They brought it from a scare zone, so we're kind of thinking that might be where they're leading.
Yeah. Dead Man's Pier. Dead Man's Wharf was 26, I believe.
Yes, sir. So moving right along, then we have this would be a big draw this year, the HBO Max show, The Last of Us. So I know I hadn't had a chance to actually sit down and watch it yet, but Adam, I know you're a big fan. So kind of tell me what would you like to see if this does end up getting confirmed? What would you like to see out of it?
Yeah, The Last of Us. I go into each episode of a new series, especially a horror type series, and I go into it with a thought of, okay, if you can hold me for one episode, I'll give you two. If you can hold me for two, I'll give you three. Okay, so I have watched. I'm currently updated with the episodes. I feel like it's good. I like the apocalyptic setting. I love the makeup of the clickers. I love the fungus makeup, and I feel like if they could pull off some lightweight makeups for the actors to wear and the sound effects, the set designs, all that stuff, it will be really, really well done. And I feel like this is a big house.
Yeah.
If they announce this for real, this will be a big house, a big to do for Horror Nights. And then branching out, that leads a whole partnership with HBO to create, some more new properties. That instead of partnering with Netflix, now maybe we can partner with HBO to get some other stuff in there.
Yeah, and like you said, that HBO, Warner Brothers, they have a pretty big library that they could pull from. So that would be a great partnership if they could get that worked out. Me personally, like I said, I've never been big into shows. Maybe if one does hook me, I will binge watch it. So this is one that's on my list. So I do plan on watching it, especially if it gets confirmed, because I like to see what I'm getting into. But I've heard nothing but great things about this show, so I do look forward to actually sitting down.
Country, they're raving about it, and it's maybe take the house and pull back a little bit of the drama elements, because obviously it is going to be a haunted house, if it is going to be a haunted house, and then draw into some of that more like that tension of, okay, you're hiding from a clicker, kind of thing, and then you're also hiding from a cannibalistic human. So yeah, has potential. We'll say that.
And moving right along, I'm going to let you give this introduction to, because I think you might have a little bit of history if this is a confirmed house, but like the original house for Devil Dogs.
Devil Dogs, yeah. Devil Dogs would be great. And like we spoke earlier, there could be a few red herrings on this map. Devil Dogs may be one of them, because Slaughter Cinema, it's just like the pier anchor on this map is in the same location as the original house. So Devil Dogs, same location. The Devil Dog premise would be great. A posse of werewolves, bikers.
Yes.
Mix. It has that potential to be the next Bugs B sci-fi, kind of house. And I really hope that they do bring this to light. because I think there should be a comedy house, but it should be a violent comedy house with that B sci-fi horror element. And this one could be like a 70s grindhouse, because it was very much a 70s grindhouse kind of feel to it overall.
Absolutely, and like you said, if they had werewolves, then I'd instantly be sold on, because I'm a huge werewolf fan. I hate the year that I missed the American Werewolf in London house, and I always kick myself for that. But like last year with the monsters, where you had all Dracula, Mummy, and the Wolfman. If you can bring a werewolf in here, and we already have Dracula in another house possibly, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And a grindhouse.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong. I mean, the music, the like gritty bar areas. Because there's going to be a bar. There's going to be a parking lot or whatnot. It'd be all gritty and nasty. All the bikes going with the exhaust. Yeah. Let's do it.
Absolutely. You can sign me up for that one as well. So, moving right along, then we're burning through these, but we have next. It looks like it'll be an original house, but their original take of Krampus. So
Okay. Right.
I know for myself, sold. That's all you got to tell me. Krampus.
All you have to say is Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. I'm there.
Big fan of the film. We love the film. With a Krampus original, you got maybe his more like, I don't know what you would call his form, with the hoofs and without the horns,
antlers.
without the Santa Claus coat. Just straight up grabbing children and just whipping them. Like, I hate to say that, but let's get us a Krampus original.
No, I'm with you. And like, I think about the original house, and they talk about how cold it was in that set. So that's kind of what I look forward to, and like just seeing all the different elements that they could put into that. I think they could really do a good job, which they did a good job in the past when they done the house based on the movie. So I know this is something that could really got some great potential.
Yeah, totally, with the Krampus, and it's also another folklore house, because what is it?
Yes, it's German folklore.
It's like German folklore, if we're correct on that, and it's so now you have a couple of different folklore type houses playing out, and that would be that'd be okay, that'd be just perfect. Let's do folklore, let's do literature, let's do all that kind of deep dive. But yeah,
we have 3 more houses to cover, but they're really just the symbols. So I really don't know. Do you have any type of speculations on what these possibly could be? We have obviously the guitar with the flash symbol going through it.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that one is it doesn't say original but below it, which could lead you to believe that yes, it's another musical artist, another musical house. However, as we've said before, there are could be one or more red herrings on the list. I really don't have anything on that one as far as
Yeah, no, I got nothing on myself on it.
That's just, I'm lost with that one.
Like you said, with it being, it could be a red herring, it could be nothing, it could be, like you said, another musical house. It's really too hard to tell. But the beauty of these speculation maps is these will start dropping every so often, and we can kind of get a much more clearer picture of the direction they're going to.
Yeah, and this is version 1, so
Right.
This is like the teaser of the teaser. So.
And the next one we have is the Anchor House. Like I said, that could be.
Well, it's also in the same location that Pier
Yep.
was in, I believe. And obviously, it's a pretty ballsy move to do Pier or a Pier-related house in the same exact location. But with HHN's history of ship-related houses, looking all the way back to the old days of the SS Titanic, which I believe, from what I read, had 2 different kinds of house experiences, where 1, you were going into lower class house, and 2, you were going into the upper class. Leonardo DiCaprio, what was it? Claire Danes in that one?
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that?
On Titanic
Yeah.
is Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going in that style, like the upper class, or you're going in the lower class house. But then you got
the 2 pathways.
the 2 pathways.
Yeah.
And then you got the Titanic house. Okay, so that was a really good one. That was, kind of like a tilted floors, flooded rooms, very much like ghost ship style house. And then you also had, as recent as the Pier. So the Pier, had that ship portholes filling up with water. We go over how awesome that was. But yeah, with the potential to do another ship house, I think that they definitely have it in the bag if they decide to go that way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, if they do go that route, you can definitely sign me up, because they've always, like I said, have a great track record when it comes to those ship houses and the setting, the mood. It's always been a knockout of the park. Moving on to the final house, I don't want to guess what language that is. Like
It's a Japanese translation from what I've heard, and I don't remember exactly what they said it means, but it is some kind of creature, some kind of folklore.
So another
which would be
folklore
another
house.
folklore house, which, as we know, the Japanese folklore is full of all kinds of creatures that you could base it, or you could have a mashup house of all the different creatures alone, and that would be awesome. So, could it be a red herring? Could it not be? We don't know. Like we said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the speculation because it is just that.
It's all speculation.
It's all speculation. And you could sit here all day long and talk about it.
One thing I will say, though, is if they do go the folklore route that they're talking about, it does make a lot of sense because when you think about 31, how those kind of flowed together with
the traditional Halloween theme.
Traditional Halloween, exactly.
Yeah.
It had like a strong theme. So that would make sense to me, but at the same time, like I said, I'm not going to hang my hat on anything other than Chucky at this point because that's all we're guaranteed right now.
Yeah, and as far as it goes, I know in my heart, I feel like if it goes this route, that's a solid year for me.
Yes,
because I want to see some folklore. Like we've had many conversations off camera where we're talking about, please bring some cryptids into the event. Please, bring like. I personally want more literature in the event, like the Poe House.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some more literature, bring some more cool dynamics like that in.
Like Grimm's fairy tales. Those
Grimm's
would always
fairy
be
tales.
fun.
And as controversial as it is, and as hard as it is to pull off, bring some Lovecraft into the house. They did touch a little bit on that in Case Files with Boris Schuster as the detective. You had some tentacle creatures. You had a little bit of Lovecraftian lore in there. And Case Files Unearthed and all that kind of legendary truth kind of house. But other than that, the speculation map, it looks solid. It looks like we're going to have a solid year. And, we can't wait to see how this map evolves, how it changes over time. And it's just going to, the next one might just blow our mind.
Absolutely, guys. So stick with us. Like I said, when another speculation map drops, we're going to do the very same thing. We're going to look over it, analyze it, tell you what we think. We have our thoughts.
Yeah.
If we have any solid information, obviously we'll pass that along to you as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and then ring that bell to get the notifications anytime an episode drops. Because if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, you're going to want to know this information as well, so you can be as prepared as you can possibly be.
Yeah, totally. And be sure to share it with your friends. And so that's all we got for you as far as speculation goes. Next we will do our 31 review for you guys. Stay tuned and stay wicked. And remember, blood and guts. HHN, blood and guts.